Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Now I know it's been a while. Last videos were my home gym and some how I eat sort of stuff, and after Christmas it kind of died off a little bit. I did get a new job, new promotion, and like most people who are on a weight loss journey or doing anything like this, it takes its toll and the old habits start to creep in. But I've stayed relatively around the same weight for the last 6 months, 4 to 6 months. It's not been easy. A lot of binge sessions, a lot of stress coming home, not eating right or not training, you know, but I'm back where I am now. I'm back into a straight line, and I think there's a lot of stigma going on around social media and diets and stuff, you know. I've seen it from a lot of people I've spoken to in the last couple of months where they've struggled to, or they've lost weight on a diet and then they've put it straight back on. I've done a couple of diet plans for people, but I've not practiced what I've preached, or I've not been practicing what I've been preaching. So recently, I've got back into the gym. I've been training hard again. I'm concentrating this time more on muscle gain than on weight loss. I'm down to 130 kilos. Start weight was 165 kilos. So still 35 kilos down from when I started. But it's a new, fresh approach this time. Heavier training, harder training, more diverse foods, allowing myself to eat some fats and certain things. And the channel, I'm gonna do a couple of cool little things. So today, I've got a friend of mine on who we're going to be chatting to about, like I said earlier, about the stigma around dieting and social media culture, because it's hard. Like, I'm just a normal person, and to get advice from these people who are jacked up, a lot of these people have never struggled with their weight, and they might have struggled with bulking or cutting, but they've never struggled with being an obese individual with hardly any muscle mass, you know. So we're going to deep dive into there and see why it's damaging and why basically people struggle to lose weight. And we compare ourselves to social media people all the time. We're on there, we only see the best part of their lives. You know, you never post about a bad day that you've had, you only ever see the positive side. So we're going to dive into that and see what we can see basically, and how we think we could change it to be more beneficial. But right now, we're going to go get some breakfast. We're going to cook some breakfast. We're going to get into a workout, have a bit of a swim today, and then we'll have a chat, so keep watching.
I'm thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? 'Cause I got it.
Right guys, so that's breakfast done. I don't usually eat breakfast, but I've got a friend with me who's eating cooked breakfast whilst I'm having my banana. So, you know that 98% of people in a recent survey agreed that breakfast was the most important meal of the day, but actually only 44% of people eat breakfast, me being one included. I maybe have a little snack at 10 o'clock, but I usually fast until lunchtime. So today is Monday, which is International Chest Day. We're gonna get into a push workout, sorry, it's early. Push workout this morning, and then we're gonna go and hit the swimming pool. I've switched it up a little bit. Used to doing a typical bro split, but now I'm on a push-pull leg split. So we're gonna go into the garage, get trained, got a pre-workout. Let's go. Absolutely beautiful day today for a workout, Mark. So we're going into the gym. Chest day today. Mark's going for his PI. I don't know it yet, but he is.
You can catch my vibe, and right away got so much time looping in the blurry lights. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. 'Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of.
So I didn't quite get it this week, but I was fucking close. A couple of inches off. Yeah, so a couple of inches off, but you know, it's all about progress. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but as long as you keep trying, that's the main thing. That's the workout done. How does it feel, Mark?
Oh, I don't like this thing.
Introduce Mark to the ab roller. And I don't think I've had abs since I was a baby, but I can feel them. And yeah, he's struggling now. Good workout, Mark?
Very good. Very good.
You stay there, pal. You'll be right. So now we're gonna go and have a bit of recovery. We're gonna get ourselves to the gym over the road and get in this sauna, steam room, spa. I'm not gonna film that for obvious reasons. No one wants to see that. But yeah. So we're gonna get some recovery in, and we'll see you after. How's that, Mark?
Fucking good.
Yeah.
I feel like you deserve it. Yeah.
It's a treat, but it shouldn't be a treat because it feels nice, but it's good for you.
I'm knackered now.
My shoulder's shaking just holding the camera. So we're gonna go for our second meal of the day, which is gonna be steak, which I ain't had for a while. So let's go get some food. Crazy workout and all that's ready for some dinner, so Matt's already eaten it. So
Already started.
steak, eggs, we've got some peppers, some tomatoes, sweet potato. So yeah, Matt can't help it, so I'm going to jump in as well. Hey, Mark!
How we doing?
Good, mate. So I hadn't done this before, so obviously you know a bit about the channel that I've done.
Yeah, I followed you a little bit. Yeah.
Kind of just for normal peeps like me and you know, who are trying to find their way, losing weight or building muscle or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever goal it is. So Mark is from the UK as well, staying with me for a little while. Kind of re-sparked my what should we say? I had no willpower beforehand.
Well, I'm glad to actually have been some sort of service.
Oh, you have to be honest. Like this beforehand, it was pretty difficult. I was getting into that lull of like junk food and just spending too much time working and stuff. You know,
Man, it's easily done. I'm a victim of it myself. I'm my own worst enemy for that. Like you kind of allow yourself to just eat shit if you really want it.
Yeah.
You know, that voice is like the kind of calm voice that like, just have a fucking Big Mac.
Well, I mean, I get that, but like, I was real strict on the first time I did the diet.
Yeah.
And then as it falls off, like most diets kind of do, as they fall off, it was hard to get back on track. But you coming in, obviously, the fitness side of things, you know, obviously you build yourself up from where you was.
Yeah.
When you first started, when was it? 2020 when you first started, like?
Yeah, I think just over 2 years ago. I mean, exactly like you were just saying then, touching on it, it's just for normal everyday people.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm a fanatic or anything. I just ended up doing it, you know. When it wasn't because of this, like, but I ended up going through, like, you know, bit of a shitty breakup. It's like the cliche thing, isn't it? You know,
break up, lose weight, get bigger.
Well, I mean, it's still a work in progress, to be honest. But like after that, I just ended up going with my friends, just at like a little sports fitness centre thing, you know, with a pool and all that. I think I've done it for like, you know, maybe a couple of weeks solid, and that's been my lot in the past. That's when I've started like, you know, I can't be arsed tonight, and then you just sort of make excuses and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think after doing it in 2 weeks, I can't remember just what it was now, but there was some exercise that, let's say, for example, it was a Thursday that I really enjoyed doing whatever I was doing. I'd look forward to that day. Yeah. So I'd have to get through everything else. And maybe that was a little bit, from my perspective, discipline for me. I'd have to get through the rest of it just to get to my favourite day or whatever it was, you know, at the time, because it always changes, doesn't it? But yeah, and then just ended up building a bit of a routine from that and still enjoy it, yeah.
So was it kind of more like, was it food for you, or was it like exercise? Like, obviously it was fueled by getting bigger, because our story is a bit different, because you were a lot smaller, weren't you? You was like, I mean, you wasn't massively slim here, but you wasn't like mega overweight or anything.
I had a belly, yeah. It was, I was just looking, you know, that kind of skinny fat?
Yeah.
That kind of thing, you know.
Where I
like,
wish I was.
It's like the sort of pot noodle arms, like you got the noodle arms, pot belly, that kind of stuff, yeah. But yeah, it's the food. Well, the food's still an issue for me, as you know. Like I'm always, I still make this sort of excuses, and you know, because we've all got to live. I still every now and again enjoy a drink, sort of thing. And when you're hungover, you don't want to look at chicken, rice, and broccoli.
No.
You know, you want grease is what you want. But I mean, it's not just because of that. It's convenience as well for me. But way back when, I was just going to the gym and eating what I wanted. Still, as long as I was going, it took that just to get me into the routine of it. You know.
Do you think it was like because you had the gym and you knew you could burn calories in the gym? Do you think you thought like, well, I don't really give a shit what I eat because I'm gonna work it off in the gym?
It's one of them. You seem to think that if you go to the gym minimum 3 times a week, that it's a superpower.
Yeah,
it's magic. You're all of a sudden like you're gonna be like Arnie the next.
It lights up the golden arches.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, but like it's one of them. Exactly that. You know, you presume that if you've moved up in a weight as well, I might be still eating trash. If you've moved up in whatever exercise you're doing in weight, you seem to be, there should be differences by now.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. And it's only a very recent thing that I've come to terms with that it isn't. You know, I've got to fuel myself more with food. Exactly like you said the other day. I liked it when you said like food like the other gym.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You know, like you've got to work hard at that as well. And if it is 80% diet and 20% exercise, I've had it all wrong.
The wrong way around.
Like, you know, if it's been just over 2 years, I should be in such better shape than what I am. But this is me coming to terms with it, you know, like.
Like a realization.
Yeah. So
that's the thing with like with food. Like, I've struggled with food like all my life. I was always a massive kid. Never really. I played rugby for years, but never really stepped in the gym till I was like 16, and then you know after that still didn't really touch it. And like when I lost weight, my first focus was to lose weight by eating, whereas your focus wasn't really to lose weight. It was like to build on muscle. But you realise you have to be in a surplus if you have to up your calorie amount.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I went just in the hope of throwing enough shit at wall, someone's going
to stick.
Yeah, you know, like as in maybe I'll pick up this hobby and maybe lose a little bit of fat, because at first I wanted to lose weight, but like, you know, eventually you get a bit stronger and stuff, and then my goals changed, so I'm like, actually I won't mind putting on some size and stuff. I mean, you know, it's still on the belly, but you know, hopefully it's going to be coming soon. But I'd seen the photos of you when you were younger, what you were telling me about and stuff, and it's a difference now because I've only known you, you know, best part of 6 months or something like that. But compared to when you was younger and the mindset that you've got now, I can't imagine you being as lax with your food and your discipline and your diet and everything, from what you were saying to me before, when you'd eat like a comfort thing.
It's comfort eating, like, for sure. I mean, the thing is for me is that when it comes down to food, like, food was my vice, always was my vice, you know. And when I lost the weight, like, it was a year of hard graft. And like recently, like, you know, I ain't really put on much. I've kind of stayed the same, but I got lazy, but I'm always conscious. You know, I'm always conscious. So even though I might lapse off my diet and eat crap, I still beating myself up in the back of my brain. Whereas before I wouldn't. I just eat what I wanted, and then I don't really give a shit. You know.
Well, I think that's an important part of it as well. Even though you might not be acting 100% what you want, but to have to know and, you know, to have the realization of, if you was having McDonald's for breakfast, KFC for lunch, and then, you know, a big Chinese.
Sounds like a fucking good day to me.
Yeah, it sounds fucking cracking, doesn't it? You know, but like, you'd have that way back when, because I was like that as well. I eat shit now. I always do, but it's you do that, and that's just could be the norm. That could just be, I had a lot of takeaways this day or a lot of fast food. But now, if you were to do that, I think because of how mentally, you know, it's just
I just couldn't
terrible,
do it.
Yeah, and you'd feel groggy and all this kind of stuff. So it's that realization, knowing that you're doing wrong, that speaks some volumes itself, I think.
It's just doing something about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like being able to take the, you know, realizing shit, like something's wrong here. Like for me, like I nearly got diabetes, so that was a big like wake up call. Like, you know, but it doesn't matter what your why is. You just got to find your why, right? So my why was because I was potentially going to get this disease. Mm-hmm. Your why, you know, you had a shitty relationship and you wanted to make yourself feel better about it and feel better as a person.
Yeah, like I said, I won't put emphasis on that for me.
No.
It was just the sense of, I just ended up going one time with my friend, and this was all right. You know, on a guest pass thing, and then you just end up going again and again and again.
And get you.
I just ended up enjoying it, and it got to the stage of, like we were speaking about last week, if say on a Tuesday or something you're supposed to go to the gym and someone would say, it's Sarah's birthday, do you want to come out for drinks? And you say, yeah, all right. I'd be so quick to bail.
Yeah.
But the longer I did it, and if you notice a slight difference in yourself, or you've been going up weights, you've been doing really well this week, you'd be like, I might come, but I'll be there at 8 p.m. or whatever time you finish the gym, you know.
And they just give you shit, right? Like, there's so much peer pressure around being sociable.
I mean, as soon as you snap back with that, like, what we're missing, a couple of pints and maybe a game of pool.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's not in a cruel way, it's just in a sense of, if you did everything according to everyone else, you'd never have time for yourself. You'd never...
No, I know.
You know what I mean? We've said before, that time important.
Seeing, like, being in the gym is like work, right? You can't... When you're at work, someone asks you to do something, you're like, I'm at work. Like, yeah, it's the same thing. You're working. You might not be working and earning money, but you're working on yourself. You know, it's the same. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a much needed. You need it to be routine, like you say, at work. It's something that you can't get out of.
I mean, like that's the thing
different
about
levels,
people,
I guess. You know, but
that's the thing about people, though. Like, people are obviously not everybody, but there's a lot of people who are superficial. So you look on fucking social media, and like, you know, most of these people are in the KFCs eating McDonald's and KFC every day. They'll post a picture of their fucking salad that they ate 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Today, so this is my lunch. I like to say, like social media, like people took all these glamorous photos, you know, and it's not just like normal people like you and I, but like these influencers, like they call themselves influencers, but they're just pushing a product a lot of the time, and they, you know, like for me and you, like all I just see is like people with 6-packs. And like, you know, fit as hell, saying, "Oh, you need to get into Herbalife," or like, "Fucking these vitamins saved my life," or "BCAAs are amazing," and like that's all you're like hear. There's so much like much shit around.
With social media, you've got to understand that everything is cherry picked. You know what I mean? If I had a glamorous weekend, I'm not going to show you the selfies of when I'm getting up at 5 in the morning to work for it in order for that glamorous weekend. But again, that's the kind of stuff where whatever product they're pushing or selling or getting commission from, whatever they're doing, these influencers or whatever, whoever you follow on YouTube, it's as if they're trying to sell you a magic pill. This will change your life, sort of thing. And if there was such a thing as a magic pill,
everyone would take it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you know. So it's just like it feels so forced. And obviously, I could watch John Smith. You could watch his brother Dave Smith, something like that, and they have got contrasting, you know, opinions and beliefs and stuff, and then I'll argue for this point, and you'll argue for that point, and it just seems so false.
I mean, don't get me wrong though, there is some good influencers out there. Like I watch quite a few. Like I like James Smith. I like his podcast. I like Will Tennyson and Zach Perner. You know, just a couple of people who actually give some. I mean, they do. Don't get me wrong. They are like, oh, use my code so and so, but like, you know, but the information that they're putting out is like pretty beneficial. And although they are like jacked as shit, well, even James Smith's not that jacked.
No,
but he's just a real life fucking guy.
Well, I kind of like his approach to when he's saying people say, oh, don't eat cereal, and it's just him having a big bowl of cereal. That kind of stuff. So it's like
no bullshit. It's just like straight to the point.
You want to be able to, in an ideal world, these super jacked people and that, you'd like to be able to relate to them. So, you know, like if someone who's absolutely shredded, if they were saying, oh, I ended up having a massive KFC last night, I think subconsciously you're a little bit like, I did that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and look, if he's doing that, I can still achieve this. But
well, you don't know though, like, because one day, like, we carry on our journey. Our kind of ideal goal is to lose body fat and gain muscle. So then we could end up being the perception, like what we're talking about now. You know, like if you got an endorsement deal, let's say there's a brand like I don't know, like one of the nutrition brands that use their protein shakes, and you genuinely use their shakes the whole time, but then they offer you a sponsorship deal, and then you feel like you're peddling. Like, would you peddle that? Because I don't think I would. Like, yeah, I'd get money and I get a few free buckets of protein, but is it really worth it to sell yourself out?
Yeah, I've never really thought about it too much because maybe that's where my issue is. I tend not to watch a lot of these kind of stuff because it just doesn't sit 100% right with me because I do feel like I'm getting talked at very much as well by these people who lead a completely different life to me. You know, like I can't ever imagine them sat there trying to pick peanut M&Ms out the teeth like I will do. You know.
No, I know what you mean. Like, it's not real life. I mean, it'd be nice if it was real life. I was saying to you today, like, if I could do this every day, it'd be really nice, you know. But the reality is that for most of us, we have to go to work. We work a 9 to 5 or whatever, you know, and then we have to fit in the rest of our lives around our work, you know.
I mean, it is hard because obviously you've got that, like you said, 8 hours at work or however long it is. But then you'll get the people, let's just say if you just say, oh, I'm going to the gym, and then one of your friends will say, I wish I had time to go to the gym, but I've got this, and you're like, I didn't even ask you, and you've already given me 7 excuses as to why you can't do it. Like, I'm not a time traveler. I can't create time for you. Like, if you want to do it, I'm not saying like I know a lot or anything, but if someone wanted to say, can I come to the gym with you? You're like, yeah, right, yeah, of course you can, but you make the time. You know, don't just give me a load of... I get that it's hard, you know, people have kids and other priorities and all that kind of stuff, and you've got to balance everything, but because I used to just bail at the first hurdle, that'd be me done,
I'd be like that, I'd go home and sit on the sofa and I'm like, oh, you know what, my toenails are hurting tonight, so I'm not going to go in the gym.
Any sort of excuse, I'm a bit tired.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, no.
But when I was low, like when I was down, like I'd just sit on my ass and watch TikTok, and then it got that late where I was like, screw it, I'm not going to go.
Yeah, but then how shy do you feel the next morning when you think I just try not
to think about it.
No, that's it, because you know it makes you feel shit.
Yeah.
If you, it's like one of them. Unless you injure yourself, even if you've had like a really bad day in the gym, like you're weak, you can't do anything, you just feel exhausted, and you finished it, you'd never regret that. No. Like, I've still gone. You might go, it was a shit day, but you've still gone. You've done it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, that's true. I get what you're saying. Like for me, like training is like the second part of things, whereas for you, training's always been the first part of things.
I need to flip that.
But the thing is, though, like there's such a like for me when I first started, I tried all these different diets. Like my mum was on fucking Atkins diet, which
I remember that. Yeah.
Was ridiculous. Like you can eat processed fucking sausages and all this shit, but as long as it's like no carbs.
Yeah.
I started the no carb. I did keto, but I think there's so much information, like good information, bad information, like about food, and it's so confusing. Like for me, I had to like learn about nutrition step by step to know exactly what to eat.
Well, that's the stage I'd like to get to myself, to actually have a bit of knowledge, as opposed to. For example, if you pick up an apple, sort of thing, you're like, should I have this? And then I'd have to go on there, get a secondary opinion of an apple, because it will just be an opinion before I can eat it, rather than knowing, you know, the nutritional value myself to determine whether I personally should eat this.
I don't even think you need to know like the actual, like say like an apple. You don't need to know exactly what it is. It's like all you need to know is that it's not been processed.
Yeah.
Like the rule I live by is like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love processed food and I will eat it, but there's time and a place. Most of the time, I'm eating fresh, vegetables, nothing out of packets. So I said to you, we went shopping the other day, and he's picking this stuff up. I'm like, nah, unless it's got 5 or less ingredients, don't touch it. So that's kind of that's how I did it. It started off 0 carbs, so I lost weight really quickly, but it's just not sustainable.
See, that's the thing, like, when we were speaking when I first got back as well, I suppose like different experiences, I guess. My friend did 0 carbs, hated it. He said he was miserable.
I fucking loved it.
He lost the weight quick, but he said he just felt miserable. But then again, he's balancing, like I said, work, fiance, 2 kids, all this kind of stuff. So it just makes it, it's everyone's personal.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's all these diets are out there, but all they do is put you in a calorie deficit. Like I've seen these dickheads online, and they say like, "Oh, you can lose weight without being in a calorie deficit." Like, there's no way. It's scientific. Like, you have to burn more calories than you put in your body. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I use the analogy of a car on petrol. To get from point A to point B, it takes this amount of petrol. If you don't have that much and you've got a spare tank, you have to use the spare tank. In the real life, the spare tank is your fat stores.
Yeah.
If you're over full, you can't use all that energy. You know, you have to be in a calorie deficit to be able to lose weight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just don't fucking work.
See, a lot of it does just make sense as well.
Well, yeah.
When you break it down like that, but you know when you get all these, I'll sound like a fucking Neanderthal simpleton right now. When you get these like gym buddy goers or the influencers or whatever, they're throwing all these words at you, like expecting you to just be able to pick it all up and absorb the energy, like as the knowledge that they have.
It is, yeah.
And you're like, not in a patronising sense, but you just like someone to explain it to you.
Well, yeah, you want it in normal terms, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And like
that's something you can relate to. That's what it is, you know.
And that's how I learned it, just by like Jeff Nippard's a good guy, another one who's like a science based, but I ain't got a clue most of the fucking stuff he says because it's all like gobbledygook to me, you know?
Yeah.
But you just learn the words, like when it comes to nutrition, the certain words in the same way as there's certain words in the gym, you know, like I can't even say it. I did this the other day. I still can't say it.
I like this. Yeah.
Hypertrophy. That's it. Hypertrophy, and you know, what's it called? Overload, progressive overload, and these certain terms. It's the same with food, you know, and with different diets like Weight Watchers. All it does is putting you in calorie deficit. Keto, you're taking away a full macronutrient. You know, you're in a calorie deficit. Fasting, like I love fasting. Like fasting's one of my favorite things, and it only works because you're fucking cutting a meal out. If you don't eat breakfast, you've saved yourself 500 calories. You can have 2 big meals, you know.
Yeah, to save it all up and then just use it all at once, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like yesterday was fucking fun. Like, I mean, we did have a workout yesterday, but
we did.
But yesterday was kind of our. But it didn't actually feel bad.
It felt like you've earned it though. Like, so we had the workout, which was pretty.
It was a pretty good workout.
Pretty decent one as well. Then went to an all-you-can-eat buffet. How many pancakes did you have after?
I'm not going to comment on that.
All right.
It was more than 6, less than 8.
Oh, yeah. But like, yeah, I genuinely did struggle. But then later on, you was quite full, and I was like,
and then you was the bad influence.
Yeah. Should we get what did we get? A cheesecake.
We got cheesecake.
Big quarter of a cheesecake, sort of thing.
And then we had McDonald's.
Yeah, we did later on.
And I had a steak sandwich.
Yeah, you did. That was after. Yeah, I do.
Think of the protein gains, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, you know, like that's the thing when I talk about diets. It's like the culture's all fucked. Like it's all fucked. Like people don't actually know what, you know. They should have it in school, right? Same as learning about money. They should have food in school where you're actually learning, not just this bullshit about you put green here and you section your plate out here. Like what goes in these foods, you know?
Yeah. It'd be, I mean, that's the thing. When we were saying about yesterday, I didn't feel that guilty because maybe this is something I need to change myself. But because we've ate pretty well all week.
Yeah,
we've been, you know, going to the gym and stuff like that, and we're not robots. You know, like you enjoy just a bit of trash every now and again, don't you? Well, too often for me.
Too often, yeah.
But it just is what it is. But if you were to have that day yesterday, it was great. If you was to have that every day and that was routine, it's no longer a treat.
No.
What would you consider a treat if that was your day every day?
Yeah.
You know, like, but when you're eating real health stuff like we did today and everything like that, a cheesecake you'd look at that as a big treat.
Thanks for watching, guys. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for the next video. A big shout out to Mark Reed for jumping on the podcast, or call it a podcast, a little chat. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.